Hey everybody, Mark here from WhiskyWhistle. I'm live. Hey, cool. And it's 2:30 in the morning here in Winnipeg. It is Saturday morning. It's Friday night. What day is it? It's September 1st. Hey, happy September. Good stuff. And why am I doing this live? I'm doing this live because I just finished recording 3 reviews, 2 Canadian single malts and 1 Scotch whiskey, a 20-year-old one. And I just feel like I just can't go to bed right now. So I want to just wind down with you. Hopefully somebody will join in. Nobody here yet. And this is what I do very often. I just throw out a live stream and just hope somebody comes in and chats. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go and get the what you call it, the URL for this thing. Where is it now? Come on. URL, where are you? Advanced settings, no, basic info. Okay. No, it's not there. Still nobody watching, and that's okay. Go back here. And boy, it's hard to get a URL. Okay, the analytics. Manage. View on watch page. Okay, we'll look at that. There we go. That helps. Okay, so I got my URL here. I'm going to copy that. And we've got one viewer. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Another one of my impromptu lives that nobody knows about, and they're very early in the morning. Anyway, 2 people. Great. Okay, I'm going to copy this link and go over to Twitter and see if we can. 3 people. What is this? This is crazy. Hopefully my audio is good. We have Whiskey and a Beard. Whiskey and a Beard. Well, good morning to you too. It's 2:30 where I am. How about for where you are? What time is it there? And I'm going to do a little tweet. Come and join. How about we'll use this one? And join me live. Exclamation mark. Great. Okay, no, don't write great. Oh, shoot. Okay, stop. Okay. 4 viewers now. That's really unusual. So he said it's 9:32 in the morning. Where are you? And we have Whiskey Wolf. Great to see you too from Oslo. Cool, very cool. And great chatting with you on Instagram the other day. Yesterday, maybe? Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to send a little tweet out. Come and join me live right now. Now, I'm using my iPad, so the aspect's a bit different. Sorry about that. Didn't have enough juice, enough battery power left on my iPhone after filming three reviews. 5 viewers now. Very cool. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Leave a comment. Who's watching and what are you drinking right now? Be it orange juice if it's breakfast time, or maybe if you're in Vancouver, it's about just after midnight. So you might still be having a good night. It's Friday night. It's the last night of August. Okay, come and join me live right now. Whiskey. And one more tag, WhiskyTube. Okay. Add the URL. Return. Okay, hang on here. So, just hang on a sec here, guys. Or ladies, maybe we have a lady. Back down to 3 people now, and 2 people left. Oh well. Come on now. Okay, here we go. One of these, and a space, and a paste. So in Oslo, how's the weather right now? Here in Winnipeg, it was actually pretty warm today, about 27 in the afternoon. And then at night it goes down to probably about 12 or 13 this time of year. I'm guessing it's a bit colder in Oslo, so let us know. And one of these. And then finally the cover photo for this. And a bunch of people here and there and there and there and there. Here, there, and one more. Okay, tweeted, I'm done. Okay, that's enough for promotion. That's about the best I can do. Oh yeah, I want to get into the chat room here so I can see who's chatting. And so Whiskey Wolf says it's sunny, and he says that the tropical summer's gone. Oh, was it a bit warm there? Oh wow, you had 2 months like the rest of the year. Very cool. And Whiskey in the Beard says sunny 13 Celsius in the Netherlands. Hello to you over in the Netherlands. I love your part of the world. I've been through there only one day, part of a bike race way back when I was younger and fitter. Didn't have all these flabby arms. Okay. All right. That's good. And yeah, it's true. I'm 40 something, so you know, it takes a lot of work to get into good shape these days, and time I just don't have. So all this whiskey, right? It's not going to get drunk by itself. So okay, I haven't poured anything yet. Let's see. I think I'm going to open this. Almost kind of a keeper, but something that I think it's probably better drunk. I am a little bit of a collector. I'm also, well, as you know, I like to review whiskeys, so I do that about once, twice, sometimes 3 times a week if I'm lucky. And yeah, I should work out. You're right. You lost 18 kilograms. That's crazy. Actually, what I need to do, I need to lose 10 would be nice. I like to be about 69, 70 kilos would be ideal. And I'm a little bit over 80, so that's way too heavy for me. I'm only 176 centimeters, so, you know, to be healthy and to feel active. Actually, I'm pretty fit, but it's just a little bit of this flabbiness from too much candy. I've got a sweet tooth. Okay, get that open. This is Wiser's, a Canadian whiskey. It's a blended Canadian whiskey, so it'll be a blend of what we call base whiskey. Base whiskey would be starting out with a very, very high ABV column distilled, a very light whiskey, and then add to that pot stilled or possibly column distilled, but lower ABV, more flavorful whiskeys added for flavor. This is called Last Barrels. There was a changing of the guard, and the previous distiller, he wanted to make an old school batch, and he used unique sour mash, and I think he soured the mash with sour milk. So, oh, it smells really nice. This is from a close friend of mine and Whiskey Whistle supporter, a good buddy, former workmate, Frederick Reinink out of Ontario, formerly from Korea like me. Set that right there for a minute, gently, so it doesn't bang the camera. Okay, there we go. Probably a little bit of movement there, I think, eh? Let you have a look at that label. This one is, where's the ABV? Wow. Did they not list ABV on this? Oh, there we go. 45% ABV. That's in cursive, in red there. Can you see that? All right. Oh, and this smells unlike most um, Canadian whiskeys, which are peat dominated, not by peat, sorry, dominated by rye. Very peppery usually. This one is a little, there's a hint of that rye there, but there's a real sweetness that you don't usually get from a straight up sweetness, like a bourbon type of a sweetness that you don't get from a lot of Canadian whiskeys. So we got Whiskey Wolf and Whiskey and a Beard. Really glad you guys can join. Wonder who those other people were that came and left. Oh well. And my dog, hey Rocky. Rocky, come. Come. Come on. There we go. Here's Rocky. Oh, you. Okay, say hi to everybody. Let me give it a little wave. Let's see. Say hi. Rocky's a Yorkshire Terrier, and he is coming up on his 8th birthday, so getting on in age. Lovely dog, although he's getting quite feisty in his old age. Are you dog owners? All right, let's taste this now. Oh, so sweet. This really reminds me of a bourbon. Mmm. And it drinks like a bourbon too. This is like a high rye bourbon. Hey, you stop growling, you. You come up here. Right there. Or up there. Rocky understands half Korean and half English for his commands. Hey. Oh, come on. All right, you want to smell that? What do you think? You like it? No? Don't bother me, Daddy. All right. Okay, so somebody else has joined in. Who are you? And say hello. Why not, hey? All right, so what was the purpose of this little live? Well, as I said, before anybody joined, I just finished recording 3 reviews, and I just didn't feel ready to hit the bed yet, so I'm just going to hang out with you people for a little while and chat about whiskey, right? So what kinds of whiskeys or, well, first of all, what type of whiskey do you enjoy, and what have you tried lately that you'd like to share with everybody? And don't forget, it's not just people who are reading now, but usually after the fact about, for my channel, probably about 60, 80, maybe 100 people will check out this this live feed tomorrow. Anyway, so, and people even enjoy reading the feed, as it's called. So, excuse me. And Whiskey Wolf says the only Canadians he can get are cheap ones. Lord Calvert Canadian Club and Hamilton. Those are interesting. I don't know. I think some of those are probably export only. And one like. Thank you very much for the like. That's always great. And we have Macallan Fine and Rare. Well, great to see you. I think you were earlier tonight. You were on Whiskey Throttles live too. So good to see you here. I forget where you're from. I'm really sorry. Anyway, Canadian Club, the only one I've reviewed thus far is the 20-year-old. And that was very, very nice. If you can find that one, I highly recommend it. All right, and Whiskey and a Beard says he prefers Islay and sherried whiskeys, and his favorite bottler is Compass Box. All right, so Macallan Fine and Rare, what can I call you? MFR? Manufacturer? All right, anyway. Macallan Fine and Rare, I'm guessing Macallan is your favorite, and I think I remember that you've got a Macallan vintage in your collection. That's your baby. Do you think you're going to open that someday? Oh, Roy calls you Doc. All right, well, I'll call you Doc. What's up, Doc? All right, anyway, so we're talking about our favorite distilleries and types of whiskeys. For me, I'm very much a person who likes all different categories of whiskey. I like bourbon. My favorite basic bourbon distiller is Wild Turkey, although I've got a slew of bourbons coming up, probably September, October, thereabouts. Of course, Scotch whiskey is a very, very, very much my, should I call it my favorite? Well, that's kind of where I started into whiskey, was from Scotch whiskey. From Islay was where I began in my early 20s. And Whiskey Wolf says he's very much into Springbank right now. Great distillery, but oh, so expensive. The 10-year-old here is like, I want to say $110. And I just I cannot exceed $100 Canadian for something that is 10 years old. It would have to be cask strength and like a special edition for me to go that young at that high of a price. But yeah, I know prices are creeping up. Are you noticing inflation in whiskey a little bit more, what can I say, swift than other areas of retail? And McAllen Fine Ware says Springbank is 39. Yeah, 39 pounds is a decent price. Decent, I should say. It's not a great price. I think probably, I'm sure just a couple years ago, it was probably more like 30 or 33 pounds. Yeah, that's a Canadian whiskey that drinks like a very nice bourbon. And I must say, it kind of reminds me of Wild Turkey. And I guess that's that sour mash. Very cool. Yes, we have much higher prices than you do. And I think probably, in fact, Korea and Canada have terrible prices. I think also Australia really gets hammered with taxes. So, not everybody has access to good whiskey. €39. Yeah, 60. Oh, yeah, that is a good price. All right, Whiskey in the Beard, he says he's not so much into bourbons. He gave George Kaplan, yeah, really good guy. Gave you two samples of High West. And High West is supposed to be kind of like a crafty sort of a bourbon distillery. I have yet to try. Hopefully I will soon. Sorry, my eye's a little bit itchy for some reason. And really weird. I lived in Korea for 13 years, came back to Canada. Of course I visited, but I've never sneezed and coughed and had itchy eyes as much as moving back here. And I guess it's that change in flora that's affected my sinuses. I don't consider myself to be a, what do you call that, allergy sufferer. But I think when you move after living somewhere for a long period of time, you just cannot acclimatize fast enough. Anyway, enough about that. Oh, Ralphie had a rant against McAllen. I actually didn't see much of that one. I think that was his tribute to, what was it? Tribute to whiskey something or other, right? I forget the name of the title of that one. Anyway, I didn't really watch much of it yet, so I will. And it says triggered by the McAllen M Genesis incident. I'll have to watch it, and maybe I'll talk about that in a live, my next live. And he says he's done with bourbons since I attended a Beam Suntory Bourbons tasting. It was good bourbons, but not my cup of tea. Yeah, not every whiskey is for everybody. And my first experience with bourbon also wasn't so great. Yeah, just didn't really appeal to me. I just found them all so similar, also oaky, and just hard to really warm up to. But I persevered, and I found a few that I liked. I really like as I mentioned, Wild Turkey. I also really like Evan Williams. So anyway. And for Scotch whiskey, it's commonly known that my favorite big distillery is Glenmorangie. I also really like, I like Springbank. I like a whole bunch of distilleries, but Tobermory is one of my favorites. Edward Dower is a favorite of mine. And over on Isla, I certainly like Ardbeg. I think probably more than some of the other big ones on Isla. Bunnahabhain's very nice. I'm not really a big fan of the peated Bunnahabhains though. I'll have to try more of them to really get used to that style. But the sherry Bunnahabhain is pretty much near the top for me for what I like. And Irish whiskeys, Cooley seems to do really nice single malts that I quite like. And Teeling, everybody's in love with Teeling. And in fact, I'm looking after a Teeling Facebook group. If you like Teeling, you can check that out. It's called, what is it called? Teeling, I forget my own name. I think Teeling Whiskey Society. Yeah, that's the group. Anyways, you can check that out on Facebook. And Scandinavian whiskey, my God, it's great stuff. Denmark, Sweden. You know, I think it's just something about that Northern Europe, including Scotland and England, I guess, should have the ability to make some excellent whiskey. But something about the temperature, something about the climate there, the air, the wood, and the barley, if you can get local barley. But anyway, great stuff coming out of Scandinavia. And Macallan says Edward Hour is only nice if no bus has arrived. I'm not quite sure. Oh, I see. No tour bus. I got it. I gotcha. Okay. I'd love to visit. Yeah, sure. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see. I missed your comment there. Right. And Doc, you're also talking about Ralphie's Rant, and I'll have to watch this. This is something that everyone's talking about, and I just haven't watched it yet. I'm a few behind for his reviews. I think I posted a comment on, which one was that? One of his, most recent ones. I can't remember which one it was, but anyway. All right. Okay. And Whiskey Wolf. Boy, now where did you say you were? Oslo, right. We have a new Arctic distillery in Norway now. Just released a 3-year-old. It's called Myken. Is that right? Myken. I think, as you may know, I'm actually what would I call myself? First generation Canadian. My father is from Denmark. He immigrated as a young boy, about 7 years old. Anyway, so I know there'll be some similarities in a lot of similarities in language there. Anyway, Myken, I think it would be how you pronounce it. Vin's here. Vin, hey, cool. Good to see you, Vin. Thanks for joining. Just decided that it's 2:30 in the morning here, and what better to do than do a live. I'll get nobody viewing here in Winnipeg. Maybe some in Vancouver because it's still about just after midnight there, almost 1 o'clock. But all right, and Whiskey Wolf is saying good pronunciation. Well, great. Yeah, you're kind of, come over here. There we go. Got Rocky here. You can sort of see his head. Rocky, say hi to Vin. Hey. Say hi, Vin. Hi, Vin. Yeah, Rocky's here. He made it to Canada in one piece, and he's getting a lot of love here. Yep. In fact, I think he likes my mother more than me. Okay. Yep, the little dog growl. But hey, he's a terrier. He's meant for hunting. You should see him chase the rabbits around the area. He goes nuts. He'll just chase them and chase them. I think one day he's going to catch them once he gets fast enough. Anyway, good boy. All right, so we're just talking about whiskeys that we like, and I mentioned a few of mine. Vin, what about you? What are your favorite distilleries, and do you have a favorite whiskey? I know that's a hard question, but now Rocky's having a little bit of a skin issue here, so you got practically a bare belly. All right, you sit down. You want to go to bed? Hey, you want to go to bed? All right, go to bed. There he goes. Well, we got up to 8 for a second there, not back down to 5. Okay, well. And he said it used to be Highland Park, but they're too expensive now. Yes, they are. That said, they just released a very reasonable whiskey here. What was the name of it now? I'll tell you in a second. Let's see, what was that called? Was it Magnus? I don't think it was Magnus. Highland Park. Okay, let's see what that's called. It's $49.99. So it'll be $56 after tax. So what's that? That's about 40, 35, 40 pounds. Highland Park. I'm searching my local province of Manitoba, the database. This is the only place we can get whiskey from. Oh yeah, okay, so it's called, Magnus. The Highland Park Distillers Magnus single malt Scotch whiskey. It's 40% ABV, 750 milliliter bottle, and $49.95. Anyway, so if you're in Winnipeg and you're looking for a Highland Park, that might be a reasonable one. Don't know what it's like though. I might get it. I'm not sure. I'm a little bit annoyed with the ABV and the fact that it doesn't have an age statement. But I should say I don't mind if it's a NAS and a lower price. Now, Vin's saying something here. Let me get back into that. I think I lost my place here. Where was I? Come on. Ah, man. There we are. Okay, so what did Vin say? A slew of comments here. We have a bunch of new people here too. Mr. Lee's channel 1. Hello, Mr. Lee. Are you Korean, I wonder? Okay, and Whiskey Wolf says Ball Blair and Old Pulteney. Yeah, those are gorgeous distilleries. I ended up getting the Old Pulteney 17, so I'm very happy about that because they've totally redesigned, revamped the range. So I don't even know. Will I open that? Ball Blair. I've got the 2002, one of Ralphie's whiskeys of the year. All right, and Mr. Lee says, We Rock Whiskey is in the house. Oh, this is We Rock Whiskey. All right, cool. Now, let me just check something here. I'll tell you something interesting. I just recorded the review, number 270. And where is my notes? Sorry, I keep searching here. I've got to find some information that may be interesting for We Rock Whiskey. Okay, so We Rock Whiskey. I'm not gonna spoil it. You got to watch, but you'll be pleasantly surprised. Okay, so leave it at that. Okay, so hey, good to see you. Really great having you here on joining me on the live here. Good stuff. Okay, so Mr. Lee, you're half Chinese. All right, cool. Um, Interesting. And what's the other half? Out of curiosity, at least the heritage, Danish or English or. And I'm sorry that I just supposed Korean because a lot of Koreans are named Lee. I know a lot of Chinese are also. Um, anyway, English. Oh wow, interesting. With the accent, you're kidding me. Uh, are you originally from England? Were you born in England? Interesting. All right. Yeah, it's been discontinued. They're putting out an 18-year-old, I believe. Your mom, wow, cool. Um, and then was your dad from the Chinese, the mainland, or from Hong Kong or one of the other islands? Out of curiosity, and if so, which city? Just out of curiosity. I've actually only been to Hong Kong. My wife and I, we never traveled into the mainland of China. I think probably I'll have to do that myself. Probably, I don't know, maybe in a couple years. If I head to Korea, I would love to take a trip into China. So we'll see what happens. Okay, born in BC, cool. All right, and uh, well, so we rock whiskey. What about you? What's your favorite distillery? What's your favorite whiskey style? And you know, what whiskey would you like to have again if it's something that you've already finished off? And okay, Macallan Fine and Rare. Doc is saying, yeah, Old Pulteney 1825 1983, and two younger ones 12 15 or so, right? And apparently the 12 is unchanged. And the 15, of course, that's totally new. So is the 18 and the vintage. So that's kind of cool. And I think there's some older ones too, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, could be wrong. And okay, so Vin says I'm getting like no lag. Well, that's good to know. And I'm maybe because I'm closer to you, I wonder. So it'd be interesting if somebody were watching from Korea, if they had lag, I would wonder. But yeah, I've got very good, I'll tell you, just for fun. Um, do you use this speed test from Ookla? Here, I'll just show this to you. So that's that's fantastic, especially because this is winter, and it used to be so slow until probably 3, 4 years ago. That's the upload, so not that fast, but good enough for 720, I think, and maybe even 1080. Although this iPad, I think, doesn't have the capabilities for 1080, plus the aspect, whatever that is. But anyway, it'll be HD, but in the aspect of the iPad. All right, so that's that Canadian whiskey that I was trying here. I just opened the cork on this one. Popped the cork, I should say. Last barrels from Wiser's. This is something that was very sought after, and it's just like it's like a very tasty bourbon. Very nice, good stuff. All right, so I'm gonna set that. There's nowhere I can put that. You can see anyway. I'll set it over here then. It'll be right there. Don't break anything. There we go. All right, so that was the first. Turn the label. Whoa! Oh. I break too much stuff on this channel. Okay, and next, what should I go for next here? I don't have anything else to open. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you. I've got the Ballantyne's, Milton Duff, and Glentalkers. I've got Aberfeldy, Cuddy Sark Prohibition, Ben Romack. Maybe that's what I'll do. Should we try that together? Well, anyway, do you have any? If anybody has any particular leanings, then maybe I'll join you. But I'm a mirror image. Weird. Well, nothing I can do about that. And I find that very weird because that means that one of my eyebrows will look strange because I have one that's kind of lifts up a little bit. So, okay, so I'm going to go for this one for the next one. All right, Vin, thanks for joining. Take care. Have a good breakfast, all right? Glenn Talkers. Okay, so Mr. Lee says Glenn Talkers. So I'll say that for number 3. That'll be number 3, okay? Okay, Glenn Talkers. So this is branded under Ballantine's. And that's a really interesting thing. And I think that's going to be a big deal for Pernod Ricard, because this is something that they don't really have an official bottle of. So we'll call that kind of like a semi-official bottling of Glen Talkers. Set that there for a minute. And just a paper canister, and maybe not the most showy label. So in terms of marketing, maybe that's not exactly a success. But anyway, it's appealing to the eye, but it's not necessarily eye-catching, if you know what I mean. Okay. And get my glass. Put it there so you can see it. This is 15 years old. It's 40% ABV. And this one is, this says traditional oak, which is basically, so it's going to be something like a butt. Yeah, it's a bit confusing, but I think the point is that there are 4 basic single malts that go into the Ballantine's blend. And this is one of them. We have Milton Duff, Glen Talkers, what are the other 2? Help me out here. Okay, let's get that poured first of all. Anyway, so this is a way, basically, for markets that are dominated by blends, of which Korea is one, and I think also China is a little bit dominated by blends. This is a way for blend lovers to get in. Oh, that's a big pour. To get into single malts, and it's definitely a malt that Ballantine's lover would enjoy, because it does taste a little bit like, of course, like Ballantine's. All right, pretty much a standard whiskey color. Nothing we can really say about that. It's most likely colored, and it's 40% ABV, so it's not unchill filtered, it's chill filtered. But hey, man, it's got a 15-year-old age statement, and this was $56 US at the duty free in Korea. Anyway, now here in Canada, the only, at least in Manitoba, the only Ballantine's you can get is Ballantine's Finest, which is kind of like not quite the lowest shelf of blended whiskey, but maybe the second one. Anyway, so Glenbergie, that's right. That's the other one. And I wanted to get that on the way here this time, but mishap at the airport, lost my wife and didn't end up getting it. So that's too bad. But maybe my sister-in-law might bring it to me this winter. All right. Anyway, so let's taste that together. Cheers, everybody. Oh, the nose, right? So this says that it's traditional oak, but it's a little bit sherried. So that's probably one of those kind of like mix and match type of casks that contain some staves that might have been whatchamacallit, sherry. And it's very rich, it's very oily. It's got a nice sweetness to it, a bit of spice, and a really interesting sort of, what would that be? Sort of like lychee and papaya. Hmm. Hmm. Anyway, it's nice, and it's 40%, but it's not really weak. So I actually would recommend this, and I'll review that probably again September, maybe October. Mm. There's something biscuity too, like um, Graham wafers, as we call them in Canada, digestive biscuits type of a flavor. Oh yeah, really nice finish, and honestly, I wouldn't fault it because the price is right. It's got an age statement and it's got loads of flavor. Hmm. No, he's not in Denmark. He is in Norway. Okay, so last one, something peaty, a little bit peaty anyway. This Ben Romack, what's it called? Traditional. There we go. And this was from, brought to me, I paid for it, but it brought to me from a friend in Japan. So you can see the Japanese on the back label there. And that's a long discontinued Ben Romack, I believe, and an unchill filtered, well, sorry, I should say unchill, chill filtered 40% ABV traditional. And I'm guessing this is probably around 8 years old, I would say, maybe 10 at the most. But they have a 10, so no, it wouldn't be 10, it'd be 8. And what a light color, eh? Look at that. Let's see, put that somewhere where you can see it. No, can you see? Yeah, a little bit there. So like just slightly lemony type of a hue. Very light. Pretty sure that's has no color added. Anyway, quite like this too. Not much peat in there, but boy, it really showcases the peat. Now, have you guys tried Ben Romack? If you have, which one? And what are your thoughts on this whiskey? This, I should say, this single malt. Hmm. It's clean, bit of smoke, bit of fruit. Pretty good. All right, so we've got Doc, also known as Macallan Fine and Rare, chatting with Whiskey Wolf about where they're from and all that kind of thing. So that's cool. And now, gentlemen, I've only got one like on this, so hit that like if you can. That'd be really nice. And got one notification here. Oh, a notification about myself that I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. All right, anyways, so I just wanted to have a nice little chat with you guys, and that was great. Now I've got a little bit of whiskey to finish up before I head to bed, so that'll be good. Big plans for the weekend. Here in Canada, we've got a long weekend. Monday is Labor Day, and same thing in the US. What about where you are? Is it just a regular weekend, or do you also have a holiday at the beginning of September? I guess that'd be for Whiskey Wolf. And I'm going to say that again. You bringing in the wolf? That's Pulp Fiction. How does that quote go? Anyway, never mind. Okay, well, you know what? I'm getting a little sleepy here. All right, guys, thanks for joining. Really appreciate that. And thanks a lot to Whiskey Wolf and Macallan Fine and Rare. Also, Vin from No Nonsense Whiskey, thanks for joining. And We Rock Whiskey. So check him out on Twitter, We Rock Whiskey. And make sure you watch review number 270. There'll be some contest results that'll come out. And a couple of winners. In fact, there'll be 4 winners. So stay tuned for that, okay? Thanks, everybody. Take care. Hit that, that subscription button if you haven't yet. And like this. See you next time, okay? Take care, guys. Goodbye.